Hey guys, Chart Stoppers back with another video. In this channel we take a look at different stocks and map out their key support and resistance areas on the chart. It's important to know these areas before buying any stock, and it's also important to know what kind of a trend a stock is in before you buy into it. Support and resistance is one of the most important things you should know about a stock before you either buy or sell. Also, if you're doing any day trading, swing trading, or options, you're definitely going to want to get familiar with support and resistance. Just to let you know, I'm not a financial expert, but I am here to point out key factors on the chart which do impact the price action of a stock. And also, I provided a link in the description for Webull. You can use it to start an account and get 2 free stocks. And I also provided a link for Robinhood. You could use it to start an account and get 1 free stock. And just to let you guys know, we will be doing 3 videos per week on 3 different stocks. So if you have a recommendation, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment below on your recommendation, and I'll try to get to it. Okay, so let's get into the stock we're taking a look at today. Today we're going to be looking at Workhorse. It's currently trading at $36.31. It's down 3% today. Workhorse was a former penny stock last year, and all of a sudden it just exploded out of nowhere. As you could see, the price just in June of 2020, all of a sudden this stock just exploded out of nowhere, and it rose from about $2.44 right here to $20 in a matter of a month. So some of you might not be familiar with Workhorse. Let's just talk about who they are and where they came from. Workhorse is an electric vehicle maker. They're an EV. They're out of Ohio. They work in Lordstown, Ohio. They teamed up with actually Lordstown Motors. They have a percentage in their company or whatever. And they make electric vans. And the big thing that happened with them is they were rumored right around June of 2020 to be getting a contract with the federal government to be producing electric vans for the Postal Service, because there was a problem with the mail trucks for the Postal Service. I guess they were catching on fire, and it was a very dangerous situation for them. There was a couple stories in the news of Postal Service vans and mail trucks catching on fire and stuff like that. There was a couple pictures that you could see, and so they want to make new electric vehicles for the Postal Service. And Workhorse is considered to be the front runner to get that contract. Now, the contract is worth $8 billion. It was rumored to be $8 billion at this point right here in 2020. So that's why you saw this huge run up in price of the stock right here. Now, this was all on speculation. There was also a couple other companies in the running to get the contract. So it wasn't just Workhorse as the only company in the running for the contract. So you have to take that into consideration here too. Okay, they're not the only company in the running to get this contract. And at this time, there was also more companies in the running in 2020, but a couple other companies have dropped out since then. So at this point right here on the chart, going back to that, we're going to be mapping out the support and resistance now. So that's a little bit about what happened here at this time frame. So let's just go back to the chart and we'll get into it here. Let's see. I'm going to grab my first line, and I'm going to see my first resistance area is at about $20. So I'm just going to mark that off. And now I need to go down and find a support area for that $20 resistance. And I could find that at, it looks like $15. So I'm going to mark that off, and I could see it hit that $20 resistance, and then it dropped back down and rode this $15 support area. So that's a very good base all the way through my chart. I could see it looks like it's going to work all the way through my chart to present day. So that works, and I'm going to work my way up from there. So I'm going up on my chart, going to find my next resistance point as it broke through this $20 mark here. Now at this point here, it had a big run up in price as I think this was the time that it was getting closer to the date of the contract that it was supposed to be announced. So that's why you saw another huge run up in price here. And you hit this $30 resistance area here. So I'm going to mark that off on my chart. And we're going to go from there. But you saw the huge run up. It hit $30. And then all of a sudden it dropped down. Because a couple things happened here. I think the contract got delayed until the end of the year right here. And also, I am pretty sure they had some sort of a short seller. I'm pretty sure it was Fuzzy Panda came out with an article about them, bashing them or saying something bad about them, you know, and it caused the share price to dive also. So that's what caused a huge rundown in price, dropping all the way back down to our $15 base and support area here. Okay, now when you get into about over here, this is November, as you could see, 3rd. Now what day was that? That was election day. That's when Joe Biden got elected into office. And you could see from that date, you had a huge run back up in price, and you almost hit that $30 resistance point. Now also, this huge run up in price was because, not just because of Joe Biden being in office and because he supports EVs, it was also because it was towards the end of the year and the contract was supposed to be announced again by the end of 2020. So that's why you also saw a huge run up in price here. But again, on about December 1st, they came out and said they're not going to announce the contract and who gets it until Q2 of 2021. So now you saw another huge sell-off, and it dropped all the way back down to $20 this time. Not all the way back down to $15. Not as big of a sell-off as last time, but a pretty big sell-off from all the way to 30 to 20. Okay, so that's a pretty big sell-off right there. And then right around this area is where you see another huge spike in the share price. And this is where I think Joe Biden came out and he made a speech. And he said he wants to convert the fleet of the government's vehicles to electric vehicles. And that was huge for Workhorse. And because a lot of people are saying that just shows you that they're going to get the contract, because he came out and said that he wants to come out and change all the government vehicles to electric. So that just pretty much says that he's going to give the contract to Workhorse, because Workhorse is the only American EV company left in the running for the contract. I think there's 2 other companies left in the running, and one of them's a non-American company, and the other one I think is not fully electric. The only fully electric company left in the running for the contract is Workhorse. Okay, that's why you had this huge run up in price with the expectation that they are going to get this contract in Q2 of 2021. Okay, now they did come out and say that the contract is only going to be about $6 billion. Okay, so they speculated that it was going to be $8 billion in 2020. But I think they did clarify that it is only going to be, I think, $6 billion now. And it's going to be for 180 delivery vans. I'm just going to mark off our top of our chart here. The high resistance point is going to be 42. And then I think our support off of that 42 right there is going to be at 35. You know, you can't really tell where exactly it's going to, the port's going to be off of that 42, but I think it's going to be right around here in between 35 and 42. You're going to have support and resistance until this contract gets announced. I think it'll trade in between this area until they announce that contract. Okay. Now for my price prediction on this one, because they are the only American fully electric company left in the running for the contract, so I think they will get it. And if they do get announced to be the winner of it, I think the share price is going to go up to around $55. I could say that with no problem. You know, a lot of people are saying 60, maybe 70. I'm not sure about that, but I can tell you at least 55, maybe 60, but I'm going to go with 55 to be safe. You know, maybe close to 60, but you're going to have a lot of people selling off because people have been waiting for this contract to be announced since as you could see, June of 2020. So it's going to be, once this contract is announced, it's going to be about a year. So you're going to see a lot of people selling and taking profits once they do announce the contract. So I think it'll hit a high point and then it'll sell off real quick after that. So that's my prediction for Workhorse and our chart. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you next time on Chart Stoppers.